October 3rd.
Good Thursday evening, everybody. How the heck you doing? I am Manny Vitale, one half co-host of Music and Mayhem, and co-host that just ate a bug. And this would not be complete. Let's go just like this. And Skylar Ray is now in the house, kind of, sort of, little bit.
Hey!
What's up, brother? Man, that looks so cool behind you.
Thank you, man.
We got now we have Skylar Ray in the house. He is ready to do some rapping. He's in his booth right now. He's actually in the studio.
Let's go. Yeah, it's actually nice. So I hired the neighbor's kid. He's like 3 years old. I paid him a couple crayons I found, and he made this for me.
You know what it looks like? Remember the old what was that shit? Yeah, it was light. You pushed the little colored light bright or something like that.
Light bright. I used to have them in the 90s.
Oh, hell yes.
That was.
Yeah, we got already. We got people popping on. We got Lori in Boston. Graham, what do we got there?
Gresham in Portland, Oregon, Firebuff. That is my guy, Faden.
Run, Lee, they're all popping on. Yeah,
let's
man.
go.
You're one popular dude, because I know they're not here to see me. You know what? Actually, you know what, Skylar?
What?
You know who's waiting with this little magic button that I got?
Who?
And before, every time we had to talk about OG, all you would see is this little hand come flying over, and then she'd have to lean over. Well, now with the modern technology, which has been around for the last 30 years that I just caught up to, all I got to do is push this little button.
Hey!
OG's in the house.
That's crazy. Dude, I might have to get a camera for Pound Cake now.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell
that
yeah.
would be fly. Pound Cake cam?
It'll be Pound Cam.
So
good.
That's the money shot.
And now Susie's down there saying, keep me out of this. Shit. All right, OG, where's Sting at?
But you can see it now.
Now she's under pressure, man. Now it's just like, it's showtime now.
No, I'm ready for whatever, bro. It don't even matter. It don't even matter.
We don't know what's going to happen. So, okay, well, now, OG, we're going to have you go by, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, OG.
But thing is still, thing is still there, because all she got to do, there you go.
Hey!
But anyways, man, yeah, okay. Scott, how the hell are you, man? I tell you what, keep it up with you and everything with your tour, and you and Kayla, and you guys are machines, man.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations. Your tour, the stuff you're doing, the music you're making is freaking incredible. And, we can't go any further without, talking about your new song. I mean, it's just freaking incredible, man. Let's chit chat about it. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
So look, if you don't know, so somebody in the comments said, what you vaping? First of all, it's just nicotine. It's sour mango, pineapple. I don't know. It's whatever they had at the corner store. But check it out. So my brand new song, it is called Head Above the Water. I like it. It's a deep song. I like to be able to be vulnerable. I like to be able to express my feelings. It's kind of like my therapy, right? Music, instead of going to see a therapist, I really don't do meetings, right? Meetings are non-existent in my life. Every once in a while, I'll pop on one. But, with that being said, like, music is my meeting. Music is my therapy. So I like to vent. I like to throw a beat on. I like to cry and write music and, pour out what's on my heart. I think it's important, man. As an artist, I like to be genuine. I like to express whatever I'm going through. So, it's like some beats speak to me more than others. I like Head Above Water, it really, the thing about that, it really changes your mind frame and your mood a little bit, right? Because it kind of transforms it. It's not some upbeat. It's not like super fun. It's more deep. It makes you listen, right? It takes you in the mind of an addict who is possibly in active addiction or possibly, trying to clean up their wreckage. When you get clean and sober, you have time to reflect. And that song is kind of my reflection on things that I've been through. So,
man, I tell you what, you nailed it, because, with a lot of your music, man, between you and Kayla, I've always said you got that 1-2 punch.
Thank
And
you.
with that, I mean, you're in there, and some of the songs, you got that upbeat, and you're just going, and everyone's going. And then, like with this song, it's like you still got it, but now
Yeah.
you're like, whoa! I mean, some of that with the lyrics and stuff, it just like catches you,
Yeah.
and but you're still caught up with the music and the beat and everything. But now, like you said, man, it just you nailed it, man. Great job, great
Thank you,
job.
man.
But
I
man,
appreciate it.
oh well, I
It
tell you,
means a lot. It
oh,
seriously does. Seriously, like, I never know how the songs will we receive, because a lot of times I make music for me. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of those songs. It's crazy because when you're writing those songs, you're like, how deep do I get? Like, do I make it more for like everybody? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like branch it out, like kind of what everybody's experiencing. And on that song, I kind of went with what I was feeling in my heart, and a couple topics that that you kind of just have to say out loud,
hmm
to kind of move past them or to address them, if that makes sense.
no,
Um,
definitely.
so it's a deep one. I see, you guys, we see the comments. So Shauna, I appreciate you. She said, "Let's go." I see
Oh,
Faden
definitely.
saying Kayla
Dan,
Skylar's cheat code. Yes, indeed. I always say that. Dan
Danny,
Gibson said, "How is everyone doing? We love you,
Mm-hmm.
Dan."
Boston two
Um,
percent.
hey,
Boston two
Boston's in
percent.
there. Yep.
Lori's in here.
Rhonda's in
We
here. Rhonda Lee, I
yes.
appreciate you so much. Thank you for, showing love, and just accepting me for being who I am. She said, I like it when you're vulnerable. One thing I always like to do is, man, when I'm making music, check it out. So, or just genuinely in life, right? I like to be able to, so they have a saying like with a team, you are as strong as your weakest link. I
hmm
take that as I try to address my character defects, right? So that they don't become shortcomings. And so I like to be able to look at, what affects me, like what are my flaws, things like that. And I like to put it out there hoping that I could work on them, right? So
Yeah.
Good.
that's what I do. So Rhonda, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I see everybody in the comment section. You guys are beautiful. I love you
And
guys.
what we got going on too, man, we are not ignoring anybody. We got OG who is taking care of everything as always. So
Mm-hmm.
she's going to be answering comments and stuff like that off camera, and then she'll be popping on camera.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we are not ignoring anyone. If you have any questions for Skylar, if you have any questions for me, OG, pound cake, Susie, ask away. But the thing is too, you nailed it with that. With as far as the therapy with the music,
Yeah.
everyone, there's no, like, I've had people ask me, what's the best way to get sober? What's the best way to beat addiction? But there is no magic cure, man. There is no magic pill, as we all know. There's nothing. I mean, but with you, it's the music and stuff, and being vulnerable and being just your own story is like you said. That's your therapy, and just like
It
with
is.
me, when I'm out there and talking with people, I'm not going by anyone else's handbook. I'm
Yeah.
going by my life story. And just by doing that, I've got people that say, well, wait a minute. Okay, we'll never know exactly how someone feels. But the thing is, we, have gone in there and we know what's going on. We've been in that same situation. Of course, we're not going to know the exact feelings, but we still know what that dark hell of a hole of addiction is. So it's just
Absolutely.
like you said, man, about like the ability, some of the things that hurting you. It's not
Yeah.
like a disability. It just shows the ability that we can overcome, which makes that disability no longer existent. It's more now of a victory. You take that and you just springboard off it. So that's with your
Yeah.
music. That's what you do. And
Thank you.
you and Kayla both. But
It's
then we got
important, man. It's important. Music keeps me going. The thing I love about music, man, I'd be doing music even if I never made a dollar off it. Right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
in a position now where it pays the bills, but man, I've been doing people like I've been doing so I'm about to be 34 years old this year, right? And I've been wanting to do music. I've been wanting to do music since I was 9, and I've been doing music since I was 11 years old. So people got to understand, like, this is what I do, and this is absolutely what I love. And it's not about the money. The money helps, and it helps it make it more of a reality, right? And extends the reach. But I would be making music since I was 80 years old, even if I never made a dollar. Like, music is such a big part of me that I don't see my life without it. And I think that's why it comes across sometimes in the music, right? Because it really is how I express myself. A lot of times, being an addict and, having a lot of people die on me, having a lot of people, disappear or can't get their life straight and heartache, right? Because you want your friends to do good, they keep
Yep,
going back, things like that. You kind of become desensitized to a lot of it,
you
right? Somebody
do.
could tell you like so and so died and like or so and so's went back, and it's not that it doesn't affect you, but I think we have this mask that we put on so that way we have walls up and boundaries up so it isn't such a blow, because if we didn't, we can't afford bad news every day. That's what it's like when
Oh
your friends
man.
are addicts,
And
right?
that's what it is too, man. And I've had people come up to me and they're like, man, it's great what you guys are doing, but it must be depressing, with these shows and doing that. I'm like, no, man, it's just like it's life. It's not, we're not those people. We are who we are. And when we're doing these shows, yeah, of course, there's going to be shows and topics and stories that are very
Yeah.
painful. But you know what, man? By telling that story, we just helped countless people. So that negative just turned into this huge positive. And
Yeah.
that, that's why I said, man, people will come out trying to tell you, do this, do that, and this is the way to become sober. This is what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that bothers me when you get some of these recovery groups, man. And that's like with us. We're never going to tell you what to do. What we'll do is share, and we're going to share all that information. Like with you just said something too about meetings. Like that's not me. And the thing is, that's nothing against the in-person meetings. It's just that some people, man, it was too uncomfortable. It made me more stressed and
Mhm.
stuff, so I couldn't do it. But you know what? Whatever works for you is what works. And
Absolutely.
if something
Absolutely.
doesn't work, you try something else. And
We're
you
all different people. It's not a honestly, I don't believe there's like a one size that fits all type
no,
problem, right?
no,
And
no,
that's the
no.
crazy thing with like recovery. That's why I tell people go after your dreams and like, figure it out. You got to like learn yourself again, right? Because here's the thing, you get sober and you're like, okay, now what? Right? You settled into this job you don't really like. You settled into this lifestyle. Now you got kids and responsibilities. Kids are great, right? But it's a lot of responsibilities and it's a lot of stress. So can dealing with a relationship, your significant other. Obviously, there's going to be stress and problems
Sure.
and friction, right? That's just life. No one has a perfect relationship, right? And so there's all these things, and you have to go to work for this job you don't want, and money's costing so much, and like we're all broke, and you know what I'm saying? And so it's like that's kind of goes into our subject for today. You got to be patient with yourself, but you got to learn who you are as a person, right? Because you got to find your joy in life, right? I always tell people you getting sober is the first part, right? Yes, you have to maintain it, but that's chapter number one. Like, who
Mhm.
are you as a person, Manny? Who are you as a person? What do you love? What did you like as a kid? Because we've been drinking and drugging for so long that we get sober and we're like, shoot, I don't know what I do for fun.
Yeah,
And
man,
it's
Joe,
like,
that's
yo,
afraid, man. And that's
yeah,
like when with my situation when people always ask me, when they told you you have less than 6 weeks to live, were you scared, were you crying? And I tell them the only time I was scared or afraid
yeah,
was when they told me I was going to live. But they said you don't even look at alcohol, don't even look at it. Obviously a little overkill there, but not really. But that was the only time because, like you just said, that's all I knew. I mean, how am I going to live a normal life? Well, to me, that was normal. But
yeah,
then you get into this thing, and you nailed too, man, with recovery and dealing with battling with addiction and all that, and the road to recovery. It is hard. It is a battle, but man, we
it
know
is.
it's so worth it. But then again, once you get to that position, man, enjoy life, enjoy all the things that you couldn't enjoy before, because like you said, we were shit faced, and all that stuff. But finding who you are,
We
and
forget how to live, man. We forget how
yeah,
to live.
and we got to be proud of ourselves too, man. We're so quick to come down on ourselves because for all these years, people came down on us, and rightfully so, man. We
Yeah.
deserved all that negativity, and we got to own it. But with all this hard work, like I always tell people in the morning, after all this hard work you're doing, take a second. You know what? Realize the champion and the hero you are, the badass
Yeah.
that you are, because no one did it for you. No one
No.
came on and said, okay, here, Skylar, also, poof, you're sober. I mean, no, man, it was hard work and you did it. And I tell people, man, take a second and be proud of yourself. Be
Yes.
happy.
You have to.
So
You
yeah,
absolutely have to. It's important to be patient with ourselves. It's important to love ourselves. It's so easy to get caught up in what we're not doing right or how much we messed up, right? So a lot of times it kind of diminishes in our own thoughts of the success and how far we made it. Like if you guys are sober, like you did what most never can do. Right. So, like, what's going to stop you from making a life of yourself? Like, we have such an advantage as addicts getting clean and sober, right? That we are so far ahead mentally. We are superior at bouncing back, at finding solutions than most people on this earth. So, give yourself credit that. Realize, like, yes,
yes,
I'm an addict, but that's also my ability. Like, the way I was able to get clean and sober, that shows I have what it takes because most die or never get sober. So like I'm already doing what most can't. So like
yeah,
use that ability, use that confidence and reach for the stars, man. Definitely do that. I think it's incredible you guys. Seriously, like you guys are fighting every single day, right? And you guys are getting sober. So give yourself a pat on the back, be patient, be kind with yourself. I think that's very important, truthfully.
yeah. And like I always say too, man, don't be.
Yeah.
And remember, the only limits we have are the limits we put on ourselves. Just remember that's the only limits we have are the ones we put on ourselves. So don't start off, already a step behind. Don't put those, don't start off with all this negativity because that's up to us. But man, it's just that's what it is, man. And I've had a couple people talking about how people deal with addiction, how they're selfish and weak and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And you know what? When you are dealing with active addiction, I would say selfish is right because when you're dealing with addiction, we don't care about anything but ourselves and getting out.
No, no.
But
We come
but the
first.
thing
We come
we
first.
come
People are
first,
getting
well,
sacrificed
yeah.
fast.
Oh, but when it comes to being weak, hell no. Because I always tell people, I say, listen, the people who said they've never dealt with addiction or anything like that, we deal with the same issues that they do every day, whether it's work, finances,
Yep.
relationships. So we deal with all that too, and it gets pretty intense, but we deal with it. And then on top of that, throw addiction 24/7. And we
Yeah.
deal with that as well as all the other things that you guys deal with.
Yes.
So you know what? Weak is one thing that people dealing with addiction are not. We are as strong as they come. We're freaking
Strong as
warriors.
they come. Like we
Warriors,
pull
baby.
ourselves out the fire. Like, are you kidding me? Like
Man,
we are straight up battle tested.
and then what do, Scott? We instead of just being selfish, we turn and grab the next person that is struggling. We put that hand out and we bring someone else with us. That's the beautiful thing with this recovery group. Like I always say, man, we're part of an elite fraternity.
Ugh.
We are elite. And
Tell them. Tell them.
but all right, man. Let's get back into a little bit of music now, man.
Yes, indeed.
We're gonna be jumping back and forth by all
Yep.
means, man. But yeah. I'm still. What's going on with the tour, man? Where are you at in this? I
Tour is
know you're
basically
winding down.
done. So I
Okay.
was counting up the tour stops for the last few tour stops. I've been saying we're like 90 something shows in, 96, 97.
Wow.
Last night I was like might have been 99, 100, but I was wrong. I was lying to everybody. I counted today cuz I was making a post. I was like, "Let me actually count." And from my count, we are 87 stops. No, 83 stops in around the country.
Man.
Okay, so I was off,
Oh,
but 83
that's
is still
okay.
impressive.
Oh,
Damn
yes.
impressive. Damn,
You know what I'm
considering
saying?
you do everything on your own. You and Kayla
Ugh,
do everything.
we do
You know.
everything. We do
You know.
everything.
Mhm.
I even
So
made this stream at Yard app. Me and Cakes, we're working on it. It was a 2-day grinder, man. No sleep,
uh,
5 shots of espresso, 2 bubblies. You know what I'm saying? We had to get it done, right? We had to make sure the world could stream. So here we are. Yeah, I know. I gave her
Is
credit.
that
I
pounding?
gave her credit. She's back and
okay.
speaking. So no, check it out though. Check it out. So on a real note, 83 shows in around the country. Tour is basically wrapped this year, at least for the Road to Recovery tour. We'll probably take the rest of the year off. We have so many other stuff we have to do. But we end it in Houston, Texas. It's gonna
Man,
be coming up the 9th. We have a show. It's called Dreaming Out Loud. with a really cool APG out there. They work with kids and addiction. So shout out to all my Houston, Texas people. David, Sunday, Beth, all you guys. I absolutely love you. Chris, I love you. Thank you guys for setting everything up. Then on the 10th, I will be a keynote speaker. To the people out there to kind of get people, everybody fired up, right? For a bunch of donors out there and kind of just let them know, like, inspire them, let them know that, like, it's possible, to make a change. So it's important to invest into these type of resources because you never know what seeds you are saving in life that could go ahead and shape a nation,
Oh,
so
without a doubt, man.
there's that, man. Tour is basically a wrap. I'm super excited for it. So I'm ready for some me time. I was in the studio
Uh,
today making something new, some new music. I'm really excited for it. So,
well, time to get a little bit, get some rest. Just time to take a
oh
little bit of
yeah,
rest and kind of regroup and just get ready for the next one, man. We get just looking over here now at some of the comments. I saw that Jared Blaine's in the house along with Jody.
yep.
And Jared, he's out there making his music as well. And then Jody over at Swag. There's Pound Cake. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Show some love. Pound Cake love right there.
That's little mamas. We got Melissa Ann in the building. Who else?
Melissa, how you doing, Melissa? And like I said, we got Joe, we got Swag. Danny, the man, Danny and Kate, they're like the AAA
They
of.
are. They are.
I tell you
Hey,
what.
they do what AAA won't do.
Oh hell yeah! What was it again? 18 hours total, 9 hours each
18
way
hours total.
that they did. Man, that's tell you what. That deserves a shout out, man. Danny and Katie, they were listening to Skylar and Kayla. It's
Yes,
after a
indeed.
show. They had an issue with their van, and they broke down. Skylar and Kayla made the most of it, and they were chatting. They were online. They were streaming, and
They
Danny
seen
and
a
Kate
post and
heard
they
it.
were like, they were coming out, and I was like, nah. They're like, shoot the address. I'm like, I'm so far, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. I told them no so many times, and they wanted to come out, and they didn't take no for an answer. They didn't ask for anything. They didn't ask for any money. Um, we had to take care of them, of course.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
but the fact that they didn't ask for no money or anything like that, bless their hearts,
Amazing.
absolutely, just beautiful people, truly.
God
Yeah,
bless
and that's what our whole family. That's like I said, a fraternity of heroes, man. We don't have to ask because if something comes up, you already got people chiming in before you even ask. It's like, what can we do? We're here. And a lot of times, people are going to say it's just words. With other people,
Absolutely.
other organizations and families, I'm not going to slam anybody. But the thing is, with us, it's real. The
Yeah.
recovery world. Whatever it is, it's real. And right there, Danny and Katie proved it.
you. Got a question.
Absolutely.
Well, wait, we got
They're
a question,
absolutely
Skylar.
amazing humans.
What we got?
For Skylar,
Well,
Skylar,
wait, hold on a minute. Hold on one
Yeah,
second.
What we
here.
got?
get the
Wait,
connection.
wait a minute. Bam.
Okay, there
Okay.
we go. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, Skylar, Dan
tell
wants you're too funny. Dan wants to know, when does the new album drop?
well, Dan, that's a good question because
Mhm.
only I knows.
No.
Only I
No.
knows. Okay. No, honestly, I have no clue, man. The first when I got out of prison, I dropped 7 albums within 2 years,
Wow.
2.5 years, right? This next one, man, I'm taking my time with it. I'm
Oh yeah.
hoping for next year. I'm hoping for next year, but no release date. I have enough. I have enough for it to be done right now, but I don't know if I want. Right now, I'm just making music and having fun with it. I'll be dropping singles from it the whole time, so no one will go without music. But
Yeah.
this album is called Burnside. It's from the street, named after the street that I was homeless on, the Burnside Bridge. Underneath it, all the way up there, you got red doors on the side. You got Elephant Park blocks right there. New Avenues from Youth was a block off of Burnside. You know, um, it really is amazing what the tie in history that goes to the street Burnside. So I'm taking my time. I'm trying to make plenty of hard hitting tracks that are like have you in your field. There's like a whole mood to it, right?
Yeah.
There might even be a B-side. So like
Hey.
the reason why I'm taking my time is because I want to drop like 16, 18 songs on one the album, then possibly 6 months later, drop another 18 songs for B side. Like, who knows? Like, the album may never be done. For all I know is I could grow so much I may just scrap the album. So Dan, be
Hey,
on the lookout. Keep streaming. We love you. We support you. Thank you very much.
and the thing is, too, man, you don't want to just put stuff out just to put stuff out. I mean,
No.
you're to the point, Skylar, you and Kayla,
Mhm.
you don't need to do that because you're so established, both of you, that why go take a step backwards by just well, we have to put something out. Let's just put this out there just to put it out for our fans.
Yeah.
No, because that's not what you guys do. You hit it before. You do it because it's a passion. And
Yeah.
we got another one. Oh, we got another one.
Got another question for you, Skylar.
Hold on, camera time.
Okay.
Bam.
Woo! Okay, Dan also wants to know how can he get his hands on copies of the other albums that you have?
Wow.
Where can he find it? Come on.
It's easy, man, Dan. So physical copies, a lot of them are done. The person that we were grabbing albums from, I think they shut down. So we're gonna look for a new distribution as far as albums and manufacturer. I can't even manufacturer. So we gotta look for a new person to make the albums and put it together. But you could go stream it all on there. I could send you download links so you could download all of them for free. They're all on Spotify, all the major streaming platforms. But as far as physical copies, I'm not sure if we'll get any more pressed up. They're kind of expensive. Usually for like well, they're not too expensive. We normally grab like 1,000 for like $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it just depends on what. But to go back, I'm not sure. I've grown so much. I'm not sure if I want to invest all that money, to be truthful, on
Mhm.
old copies when I'm putting out new stuff. And Dan, money goes fast around here. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what.
Well, I mean, the thing is too, it is you guys. Like I said, you're just growing. I mean, your fan base is just incredible, man.
Thank you,
And
man.
you're all over the world. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it's taking a step. Like I said earlier about
Yeah.
we all need to just when things start getting a little out of control, like we were talking about. There is no time frame on addiction. Well, it's been a year now. You need to be better. It's been 6 years, whatever. No, man, you need to take every now and then, even when things are starting. If you start to feel a
Yeah.
little pressure, stop, take a breath, man. Just stop and look where you are now compared to where you were a week ago, a month ago, 10 years
It's
ago.
crazy.
And then give yourself that love. Like you said, don't be so hard on yourself. We had plenty of time to do that when we were using. So now it's time to celebrate ourselves. Celebrate your family, your friends. Celebrate our boy Jody, man, swag and all the stuff that those guys are doing, man. There's so much positive stuff going around. And it is easy because sometimes when things get a little rough, you start to maybe doubt yourself a little. But but when you're doing stuff that's so authentic, like you and your music, and us when we're telling our stories from the heart, just like you through your music, as OG says, it's a win-win.
Mhm.
It really is, and my best advice for people is to always be patient with yourselves, right? It's important to, right? We all get out of treatment, we all get sober, we all want that attractive significant other, we all want that, a dog, we all want a nice car, a nice house, that great paying job. We all want to be, looked highly upon by everybody in high regards and held on this pedestal, right? But here's the thing with that, like all that stuff takes time, right? Respect has got to be earned, right? We got to
Mhm.
not just say we're making a change, we got to show that we've made a change and we're continuing to make that change, right? Or that job, we got to work for it, right? You don't just walk into an office and say, "Hey, you guys hire," and they're like, "Yeah, you want the general manager position? Let's give him vice president." Let's gift him a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like these are all these things. I know those are like very crazy what I just said, but to
But
my
not
point
really,
is
man.
we got to work for it, right? We all want all these great things, and that doesn't happen in year one of recovery or two or three or four or five. Sometimes it could take a decade, 2 decades. Understand if we're like, I know life is short and we never know when it's going to be our time to go. But please be patient with yourself and understand that just because, you know, Max got everything on year two, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean we have to have it on year two or it's a bust. Like,
Exactly.
be kind to ourselves, and everybody's road is different. Like, be
Mhm.
patient. Your victories will come, and you are worth the celebration. Just know that.
Yeah, and we're going down this path. Anything's better than where we were. And then, we might, like, for me, everything was going good. And all of a sudden, it's like the studio's starting to come around. We're gonna start doing some shows, and everything was going really good. Then all of a sudden, it just felt like the rug got pulled out from underneath me, man. It was like this bump in the road. All these obstacles. It happened to everyone. It's
Yeah,
life, but you just have to you know, like you said, don't beat yourself up.
you can't.
Take a step back. Realize, look at the accomplishments instead of the negativity. So the negative people, the haters will always be there, and they will remind you what a piece of shit you were.
Yep.
But the thing is, man, it's up to us. We're not doing this for everyone else. We're not doing this to make someone else happy. We're
Yeah.
doing it because it's our lives. Now we are in charge. Addiction can kiss my ass. Addiction is no longer telling us what to do or what time we're getting up, what time we're going to bed, when we're going to pass out. Now this life, man, and it's so worth living. And
So worth living.
and we're doing it. And you and Kayla and the music and all of us, everyone here who's chimed in, to listen to this show, to watch the show, instead of out partying and shooting up and drinking and doing all that, we're chiming in here with this family, having fun with Skylar Ray,
Mhm.
with
Let's
OG,
go.
with Pound Cake, with Susie, and everyone here, just part of this amazing family. I mean, shit. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. We got.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But
Uh,
yeah, but we got to figure out some time where we're actually going to get together
we
and
do.
come out to see each other and do some shows in person.
Yep.
Because I know with your schedule now that what we talked about before is seeing like when your tour starts up again,
Yep.
we're going to find some shows and where you're going to be, and we're coming, man. We'll be there and team up with you, and
That'd be
we're
dope.
going to we'll do some shows and
hmm
do some live shows. We'll just do it all.
That's the only
You
way to
just
do it, man.
yeah.
I'm super excited for it. I'm excited to meet you guys in person. Um, yeah, we'll have to do it sooner than later.
Oh,
I do
without
know
a
the
doubt.
rest of the year is obviously filled up. We got a lot. We got
Mhm.
Houston, Texas. We got Austin, Texas. We got Vegas. We got Arizona. We
Wow.
got
Woo.
Spain, Italy, France, Africa. So
Great.
so we busy, but it will definitely happen. That's for sure.
Man, I mean, just rattling that up, what you just said, rattling all those different places that you're going to be touring.
Yeah,
You know, if you would have, if someone, and I know we've gone here before, someone would have told Skylar Ray, 10 years ago that you're going to be doing that.
that's
What would
crazy.
you, I mean, it's like, no,
It's what I dream
no.
of. I just didn't know what the journey would look like. That's the thing. I've always dreamed of doing this, and obviously, like there's levels to this, and I'm at a lower level when it comes to like doing music for a living. But I am on a level, right? And I can honestly
Mhm.
say that I do music for a living. And but I just never knew what the journey of the process would look like. And it really is a beautiful thing, right? And I think the beauty is in the process. It makes you really grateful because knowing the work that I put in, right? Me and Kayla put in, it makes you really appreciate the process. Like, I think if it was just handed to me, like, I don't know if that would be sustainable, right? Or
Mhm.
if I'd really put value on it. But if I made it now, like, even if I popped off like next year, you got to think that's 20 years in the game at like working on your craft and like really putting forth effort. So it really makes you grateful that anybody does support because like it took forever to get here. So many misses, so many strikeouts when I stepped up to the plate, and I hit a few decent ones and a few home runs, and I'm here, I'm making it work. Rhonda Lee said, have you ever been to Chicago? I've been or did you ever do Chicago? Not for this tour stop, but I've been in Chicago a few times for music. um Shout out to my man Jay Ward. Shout out to Unc. You know what I'm saying out there. We shot Concrete Rose out there. I met up with my buddy AC. I met up with my buddy Woe. AC's from Chicago. My buddy Woe flew in from Rhode Island. We also did a show out in Juliet, right?
Mhm.
Illinois.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep, we did a show out there. That was pretty fun. But as far as Road to Recovery tour, we have not. We've done Michigan. Had to stop in Detroit. But no, so with Chicago, it was crazy. So, Jay, so look, we went to Chicago. My grandpa, he's from Chicago, right? My grandparents came as immigrants, through Ellis Island, and my great grandparents did, and then they ended up on the south side of Chicago. I always hear about my great grandma having this notoriously known candy shop on the south side of Chicago. And so my grandpa, he's gone and passed away. I've only met him a couple times. But rumor and legend has it is that I know he did a little bit of time, right? Rumor has it he did a job for some people, and they put
Mm-hmm.
him in position. He was the vice president of Arthur and Anderson. So Arthur and Anderson is known. It's a accountant company. They were one of the top five accountant companies in the world. They had mafia ties. They were known. I don't remember for what decade or whether it was the 80s or what, but they got in trouble for all that laundering of money through the mafia. And so supposedly my grandpa did a job, did some time, took the fall for it. He got out. They got him an education. They paid for that, and they gave him that position, the mafia. So that's the story of all of the Chicago's. But I go to Chicago, and we're on the south side. We stopped over by Harold's Chicken. Is it Gerald or Harold's? I don't remember. I think it was
It's the
Harold's
chicken
Chicken, right?
place.
Yeah, it's a chicken
It's the
place,
chicken
right?
place.
And we're in there. But my man Jay Ward, which I met online, and he's like, "Yeah, come, we'll shoot this place over by my house for a music video." And I was like, "I'm looking for a bandit house," and he's like, "I know the place." And we're there, and like we could have died. Like we almost got robbed in Chicago. Like so, we're sitting there. So Unc, he calls everybody Nerfew. Nerfew. You know
Nephew.
what I'm saying? I don't
Nephew.
know why he puts an R in nephew, but hey, I get it. Whatever,
Because he's
right?
drunk.
Nerfew. So we're in there. We're in the south side of Chicago. We're at this abandoned house. My buddy AC's there with his nice car, right? We got the rental car. My buddy Woe is hanging back because he gets sketched out. My buddy's from Providence, Rhode Island. So there's a lot of murders. A lot of his family's been shot and killed. Like he's comes from poverty and not such good areas, right? And so we're in Chicago, and my buddy Woe was hanging back at the store because he's like kind of keeping an eye out and like seeing the vibe. Like, I'll show
Mm-hmm.
up when y'all need me. I'll pop through real quick. I'm a couple blocks down the street. We had Unc patrolling the block as like a spotter, right? Because like we're there, we got equipment, we don't want to get robbed.
Sure.
So south side of Chicago's a little rough, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we get this call. Our Unc pulls up, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "check it out. We got people on the next block. They're gearing up right now. I don't know what they're doing, but they're gearing up. Like they're talking about people on the next block. I could hear them like audibly talking about people on the next block. Check them out. We need to go grab their stuff. All these different things, right?" And so Unc pulls up, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know who's plotting on next door, what they're doing, but they're strapped up. They're ready to go. I see them. They have multiple cars. Like, y'all might want to roll out." You know what I'm saying? And so we hop in our cars, and I'm like, I'm not trying to get killed. Like, I give them whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Take my stuff, right? But we ended up renting a studio in Chicago to film the rest of the video. So that's my story on Chicago. And like I said, there's my ties. Like my grandpa is from the south side of Chicago. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
well,
So
you got to come to Detroit, man. We'll keep you safe.
let's go, baby.
Us
Detroit
Detroit
boy.
boys. Detroit, man. And see, we all got that grandpa thing going on because that's like with my grandpa.
Yeah.
There's a place that back in the day used to be called the Grecian Gardens. And that's
Uh-huh.
where certain people would go and talk. And my
Yeah.
grandfather, my grandfather was involved in that. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, some of the stories, it was like sometimes you'd hear, what's grandpa do? Or what is, different,
Yeah.
don't worry about it, It's but
I've never heard any of these stories from my grandpa's mouth. I never
no,
dare ask him. I've only
no,
met
no,
him
no, no,
twice in my
no.
life ever. I would never ask him. I would never, you know what I'm saying? I've only heard from his brothers, and I've only heard from family, right? Like, so my grandpa, he's a mystery. He's a mystery. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe they're true, maybe they're
Hey,
not. I know for sure he was Vice President Arthur Anderson. I know what that company was tied up in. That's all I know, and that's I don't know enough to really speak on it. So
yeah, when it comes
you know,
down to it, we're all a mystery, man. And
we are a
exactly,
mystery.
this out here, we've got one of our own Detroit, Stephanie Rose.
Mhm.
Stephanie, she's one of us here in Detroit. She wants you to come to Detroit. She wants you and Kayla, pound cake too. Pound cake
Of
too.
course.
Come to Detroit, man. We'll have a good old time.
I would love
But,
that. I would love that. I truly would. When I went to Detroit, I stopped at the hip hop shop, 8 Mile and Runyon. I went to Mom's Spaghetti.
oh yeah.
I was outside. I like to go visit all the sports stadiums and arenas.
Mhm.
Oh, we'll
Lots
take
of-
you to all of them, man.
lots of-
You
And
know what
not
I'm
only
saying?
that, man, but besides Detroit and stuff that we're doing, like I said, we're going to be doing, obviously, we're going to be doing our shows together.
Yeah.
But like I said, man, once we can get some of our schedules to mesh together, to get together and do lives and in-person stuff,
That'd
and
be dope.
now we can also have this opportunity. Thank God, we've a real blessing that we've got a studio that we're going to be working out of in Connecticut. As you know, with Ian Bick, myself and Ian Bick are working on doing some stuff, and now the way things work out, these blessings. Remember, I was supposed to do a show with another show, and anything scheduling things happened, and I didn't end up doing it last minute.
Yeah.
But Ian was there and hooked me up with this other guy who wanted me on his show. Things went really well. Next thing you know, Ian, we go out to dinner with his dad, and we're talking. And he kept talking about this guy. He's a producer and editor,
Yeah.
Matt Cronin. So now we got Matt Cronin as our producer and our editor. This guy is awesome. He's already, the plans that we're already starting to take over. We're going to be flying out to New York the first week of November for 4 days. We're going to be doing work in the studio. So we can get you out there, get you and
That'd be
Kayla
dope.
out there.
That'd be
So
dope.
we can do that. And
We would
got
love
this
to come
stuff.
out.
Oh,
No, that
hell
would
yes.
that would be amazing. So check it out. So anybody don't know, let me just put in perspective how great Manny is doing. So here's the thing. If you guys don't know, first of all,
The
shout out
check's
to
in the
Meg,
mail.
Jersey Meg. Shout out to Jersey Meg. She's from the Jersey area.
Jersey.
She came up. I met her at a show recently, but I've known her for a few years. Shout out to Jersey Meg. She's an independent artist as well. But let me put in perspective how great Manny is doing. So if you guys don't know Ian Bick, um, he's
You
an
should.
amazing person. One of the top like numbers for Spotify, like booming podcast. He is doing a show. You guys are doing a show together, right? Am I misspeaking?
Mhm.
No, we're in the process of getting stuff.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a show together. That's all in the works coming up.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
with that being said, Manny is doing that. Like that is incredible. And then, Cronin, he's helping you out now. So these
Oh,
are
he's
crazy
huge.
things. Like, Manny, you have like you're leveling. You're leveling.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
such a
because
blessing, brother.
you are yourself and you're authentic and you're genuine and people could tell, right? I think it's really cool, man. You deserve everything coming your
Oh,
way. It's an honor to know you guys, truly. It really
oh
is.
man, I appreciate that, man. And like I said, obviously without OG here and everything, but and it goes both ways. I mean, this all started because you were a guest on the show. Because I heard so much about Skylar Ray. So of course we're checking you out. It's like everything was enhanced even more getting to know you. And
Yeah.
it's been such a blessing getting to meet all these amazing people. But then some of them, it become closer. Like after we did that show, I mean, hell, we talked a half hour plus before the show went on. Then we did an hour and a half plus show. And then afterwards we did another half hour just bullshit. And it's like, let's do a show together. And that's, by the grace of God, that's what happened with me and Ian. And now, like I said, because of that relationship, Matt Cronin as the producer, editor, and all these things now, Coach Dave and Danbury, and now AJ Galante. We're going to be working with him. It's just amazing. Just like what I was asking you.
What I say is like, preparation prevents poor performance, right? Opportunities and windows open up all the time, Manny. And I just want to say it's a blessing for you because here's the
Oh, it
thing.
truly is.
You are in the right position at the right time but also you were properly prepared. And what I mean about that is you were at this stage of your life to be able to receive these blessings. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And that
Yes.
it's a real thing, guys. We all get there's opportunities for everybody all the time. Like people wonder why like why me? Why does so and so get this and why are they doing this? And it's hard not to feel envy for people, right? But you got to understand your blessings come too. You just got to be prepared for them and ready to climb through that window when they open. Manny, you are doing
Man,
unbelievable stuff, bro.
man,
You got
thank you
Thang
so
there.
much.
Thang got a
All
camera.
right.
Like, you know
Oh,
what
wait,
I'm saying? Like,
hold on. Bam.
tell him.
I'm here.
I
Answering
tell you,
questions.
and the people are what makes it. You know, I've said from day one doing this, this is never about an I or a me. This is us. Here's
Yes.
living proof. And OG has been here damn near since the beginning.
Mhm.
And with her hard work, with everything that she's done, I've said before, man, without everything holding this madness together, I mean, this is all new to me, man. And, doing this stuff and the people that we've met, the blessings that we've gotten. And, like you did say, man, sometimes people get a little bit like, how come it's so easy? It's not easy. Believe
Not
me, I
easy.
never did this, man. I stumbled along and I'm still stumbling, but I'm having fun stumbling.
Yeah.
In the past, I handled it differently. Now, these blessings and opportunities, I don't take one of them for granted. I look for every time I see your name on my phone, it's like, dude, I like fucking Skyler. Skyler, not only has he been a guest on my show, we're brothers, man. Not like that. We co-host the show together.
Let's
We're
go.
family now. So I'm serious, man. Just like I said, man, I'm a fan, just like Boston 2% and all these other people that I've gotten, Ian Beck, right down the line, Dan Don from all the people that I've been so blessed to know. They started out as a fan watching them, and now that we're friends and peers and in the same family, but I'm still a fan. I started out just like with you, man, with you and Kayla, your music. But the cool part is every now and then, if I want to get a little cocky, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I got to take this call. It's Skylar Ray.
Hey, let's go.
Skylar Ray's on the phone. I got to go.
Whoa.
Yeah, Boston 2%.
Boston, I got Boston. Yeah, I got and it feels so good, and the rewards. We do stumble, like you said, and I've always said too, man, about how we do stumble and we fall, but don't set such expectations that are unrealistic. Don't set yourself up for failure. I mean, it's small steps. But you nailed it too, man. When that window shuts and that door opens, make sure, don't hesitate, man, because it's a gift.
You gotta be ready to run through that, and that's how opportunities happen. Like, and that's why they call it like fumbling the bag. Like it happens all the time for a lot of people, But just be kind, be patient. Your time will come. Remember that everybody's journey is different.
Yes.
You have to remember that. Like your journey's not gonna look like somebody you envy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you just the same way you feel envious about someone else getting those opportunities, other people are envious of you as well. So remember, be grateful for what you have. Like you're thinking sometimes like, oh, like I don't have much. All I have is this. And it's like, you got a lot more than other people got. So be grateful, especially like if you got good health and stuff. Like,
oh
come
my
on
God,
now.
that's huge.
Come
and
on.
You know what, Skylar? How many times? I mean, looking around at us, and you nailed so many of these topics as we were talking when we first started about how blessed we all are right here, right now, because we can all rattle off names of family and friends who are no longer with us. But doing what we're doing, we're keeping their names alive. We're keeping their voices and their stories alive. And that's what's just, and that's just it. It's just a wonderful thing. And it keeps growing. And like you said, there was this one I heard on the radio. It said, yesterday's is a memory. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today's the present. That's why they call it a gift. And, just thinking about that, don't assume that things will get better tomorrow. So I'm going to not try hard today. No, you can't do that.
You got to put in that work.
Well, with you're living proof. 80 some tours,
83 tour stops,
dates, and no one did that for you. You and Kayla were out there. There were days where I'm sure you didn't feel good. There were days that you were down.
So many days we didn't feel good.
But you crushed it, and you brought such a change and difference into people's lives. Ours, included. That before that first show that you were on with me, You ask OG, man. We were listening to your music. We were just doing getting a little background stuff. I was walking around for at least before we even talked, 45 minutes to an hour, just walking around, and I kept going, listen to this. I go, listen. It touches you. I mean, it in so many different ways, man. And it's just such an honor and a privilege to
Thank you,
be
man.
in this position, man. And like I said, it goes both ways. And I cannot wait for us to actually get together and just blow the roof off of wherever the hell we're at.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
That's
fun,
gonna
man.
be crazy.
I truly believe it. It's gonna be awesome. I think we're placed in each other's life for a reason.
Yes.
And I think we could both motivate each other and push each other for excellence, right? And also we have a mutual understanding of, where we come from, right? We understand that dark place that we climbed out of. So we have,
Mm,
that mutual respect for each other. It's like we're blessed to be here. We're blessed to be here.
Mhm.
I know. We're just, we're on a show. We're on Facebook Live. We're on people's screens right now. But it's like we're sober, and on top of that,
Mhm.
like we're doing what we love. So like,
yes.
look, that's success. Like, you know what I'm saying? Happiness. Like a lot of people just like measure stuff by success. Like, you talking about like you love podcasting, like you love
Mm,
this. So to
love it.
me, you are finding success by being happy,
Mhm.
right? Being
Mhm.
happy is so much more important than just success. Like,
Oh
I know
man.
people who just like, don't live as a grand or exciting life or all these adventures, but they are truly, genuinely happy. And I'm
Yes.
like, that man is successful.
Mhm.
Like, because
Yeah.
everybody's trying to find like the pursuit of happiness, right?
And what's going to make me happy? Is it going to be money? Is it going to be cars? Is it going to be relationship? No, it's got to be within you. But that's like I was saying with you guys singing, and your music makes you happy.
It
Even when
does.
you're feeling down and sick and not feeling the best that day, once you get on stage, you guys just light up. You can see it in your
It's
face. You can see
fun.
it now. That and the thing is, I feel the same way when I sit down in this chair, when I
Yeah.
put on the ears, when I grab the mic. And there's times, believe me, I don't want to come on, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like as soon as I see live, it's like, fuck yeah,
It's
hell,
dope.
and
It's
it's just
dope.
like it's on. And Ronnie Bell, a good friend from Detroit here, she's very well known in social media. She's very well known on the news and all that, or as a reporter. And when I first started doing this, we met. And I remember her saying, "How bad do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really want to do this." And she's like, "How bad?" And I'm like, "No." And she goes, "Prove it." That's it. She goes, talking's over. You go, oh, I really want to do this. I'm going to show you. Like you said, talk's cheap, man. It's time to put up or shut up. So those days, if you don't want to go on this day, guess what? Someone else does, and they're going
Yeah.
to take your spot. So that's when you're going to
Fair
find out what
enough.
you're really made of. So that's like you're doing 80 some tour dates. On those dates, there were days you didn't want to go, and then you made those were probably some of your best shows.
You know how many people I sacrificed just to be here? I'm just joking. We never sacrificed nobody. Oh man,
No, it's
he's
just
trying to
like,
get me to tell all the
uh-oh.
secrets.
No, no, no. But see, I
You know
really
how
do
many
know.
rituals?
Do you know how many people that, because of having Skylar Ray on this show, no longer have Skylar Ray on
Hey,
right now?
no, but those shows are fun, man. Like,
Oh man,
I'll tell you what, performing is like one of the closest things you can get to a high. It's a performance high, right?
Mhm.
It's a quick list, like that adrenaline rush, that fear, the insecurities, uh, the doubt and confidence, everything like that, right? That is truly a high because you're feeling
it
all these massive, intense feelings, and it's scary. So honestly, performing is a high for me. It truly is,
yeah.
and I'm addicted to that high. Like you said, you put the ears on, right? Because Manny has no ears without it. He literally can't hear
This is
nothing.
the
Mhm.
Yeah,
look.
Mhm.
yeah.
This is it.
Manny's walking around, people are trying to talk to him, and he has no ears.
I was
So when
like,
he puts the ears on, and he could actually hear stuff, right? You feel that high. The lights come on, the voice, right? Everything like that. You
oh
feel
yeah,
good, right?
yeah. Oh,
So
you
that's
grabbed the
that's
mic.
the thing. Is like it's a whole new thing, man. There's plenty of times that I don't want to do events. Just the other day, not the other day, but most recently, right?
Mhm.
I was loading up the car and getting ready to head out to a show, and I remember just thinking, I really don't want to do this shit right now. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I do not feel like putting on
You're
a show,
human.
setting up, performing, meeting all these people. Like, that's the last thing I wanted. I literally want to crawl back on the couch, play some games, fight with pound cake. You know what I'm saying? Take a nap. Like, so yes, there's a lot of times I don't feel like doing stuff, but I understand that I have this opportunity most don't have. Like, it is
No.
crazy. Like the first tour, like, so the first tour we had one sponsor. Shout out to 4D.
All right.
But we had one tour and we probably paid $30,000 out of our own pocket. And I made thousands and thousands of calls, literally thousands of calls. That's not just a
Yes.
number. And I got told yes 33 or 32 times, right? 32 times people said yes. Most of those shows, I would say about my memory could be bad, but I would say 80 to 90% of those shows were free shows
Mm.
that we would travel around the country with our equipment, with our van, loading our own gas in, doing all this stuff, doing everything, right? Not only that, but giving out free shirts and merchandise to every single client that we met
Wow.
And
on
spending
the
time
show.
with them. And
Thousands
afterwards,
of shirts, thousands of albums, spending time with
Mhm.
them. And we headed out for like 3 months. And the first tour was a little crazy because we would be on the road, literally staying in the van, go to the gym in the morning, take a shower, head to the next show. We were on the road for like 3 to 4 weeks at a time, sleeping in a van, like to make this work. And most of those were free shows. We burned
Wow.
up so much money, but it was worth it, right? Because
oh,
sometimes you got to invest in yourself. Like, that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen.
yes,
It's not
yes.
just effort. Sometimes you got to invest in yourself. If you want it, what does it matter if you're spending money, right? If you truly want it, you are the only person that's going to hold yourself back. And it should be that way. No one else, like, go out there and grab that. Make sure you achieve that, and there's no one in your way. And that's the thing about it. So, we're out on the road. We're doing this thing. I made thousands of calls. 32 people said yes. We showed up. The next tour, sponsorship starts getting bigger, right? Because we had to go out there and show people that we really doing this. It's
Sure.
not just give me money, like I'm going to do this. This is what I want to do. It's like, no, we did this. We did a good job. We showed we're committed. Next year, boom. It's like, oh, these people have a track record. They
Hmm.
really do this. So
Mhm.
then about 30, 40% of our shows started becoming paid, if not like 50% of our shows from this tour, right? Because you got to think these treatment centers, you go there and it's like, why would we pay you? So we're going to pay you and you're supposed to come across the country and you're just going to show up, some mister that just called me on the phone. Oh, you want me to send you
Exactly.
$1,000, $2,000? Okay.
Yeah.
You'll be here
Okay.
in
Checks
six
in the
months.
mail.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you had to have a track record and show people. And then like this tour, I would say, we have a thing where we don't
You
like to
said
turn
doo
down
doo.
treatment centers.
You
We
said
do
doo doo.
do. Hey, hey, check it out. He
He
said.
said doo doo.
We do have a thing that we do that we don't like to turn down treatment centers if they don't have funds. That is why we look at sponsorships. Because with sponsorships, it allows us to say, okay, we could travel from point A all the way to point B and fund it all ourselves. Right. And like, because a lot of times it's always about the message. It's always about the message. It's always about the clients. So I don't like to tell a center no if they don't have money. Like, if it makes sense and we have time in the schedule, like, we will do it. We will do it. We still do free shows, right? But I would say, besides, we always try to do a certain amount of free shows every year,
That just
right?
goes to show, the type of person that you are, man, about putting into it and what you get out of it. All
Yeah.
those no's and those 32 yeses and all
Uh,
that stuff and all you've done and all the people, I mean, it shows right here, chiming in to, chat with you because, of all the stuff you've done. And you know what, Skylar, I don't know if you remember the friend of mine, Karen,
yeah,
and her mom, Phyllis, that are
I do.
band.
I do.
They're here, and because I knew that you were gonna, that they knew that we were gonna be on tonight, so they wanted to, chime in, and here they are. Karen and Phyllis are in the house for the one and only Skylar Ray.
Let's
So
go.
let's go, Phyllis. I hope you had a good time. I know they went on a camping trip, and they had a little issues with their RV and all that. But also
no.
want to give a shout out to Karen and her mom, because this lovely chair that I'm rocking in right here with that bad back of mine, they noticed I was kind of fidgeting around before, and they knew about my surgery. Karen and her mom purchased this beautiful, comfortable studio
Sure
chair.
did.
That's
So I
dope.
mean, it's like, the people reaching out, they didn't have to do that. I mean,
No.
but it was so Karen, Phyllis, thank you guys so much. Love
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Karen. You guys, thanks for taking care of my family. I appreciate you guys. Sorry that you had troubles with your RV. But you guys are here. Hopefully, you guys got to enjoy whatever
Yes.
trip you guys were going on. Thank you, and it means a lot that you guys are here today. So I send my love. Pound Cake sounds my love. I know Manny and Thing sends their love.
Oh,
Right?
without a doubt, man. That this is just so freaking cool, man. The difference that that has happened, and back, I still remember parts of the first show we did when you were telling me your story about you know you know, you know living under a bridge and doing this and doing that, and then jail, and then all these things, and each day was just a little worse, and then a little worse, and then all of a sudden when you didn't think so, even a little worse.
Yeah.
And with the attitude that you have with your music and everything that you got going on, you are just, living proof, just like, all of us here with the battle, but the talent, that you had, from when you first started is helping so many people. And it's just it's such a blessing, man.
It is a blessing. It is a blessing.
Really
I never thought in a million years, right? 33 years to be exact.
is.
Far short of a million, right? No ice ages, no none of that stuff, right? Although I do got me a prehistoric creature on the chair right
Oh
next
my
to
God.
me.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I never thought I'd be able to do this stuff. Like I never thought how cool life would be that I would be able to do music for a living and help people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is incredible. Like, honestly, that's why I got into music. Like, 1999, actually 2000, the Marshmallows LP. I heard it. I was a year late on Eminem. And I don't know why I always say 1999. I know I've been saying it lately in the treatment center shows, and afterwards I think about it. I always catch myself. I'm like a year off or something. And I was like, oh, I just fibbed to them. You know what I'm saying? Or exaggerated,
Hey,
But
they'll forgive you.
2000, when I heard the Marshmallows LP, then I started listening to Eminem and stuff like that, right? So I'm listening to all this stuff, and I wanted people to feel the way that I felt when I listened to Eminem. I don't know what it did, but it was magical, right? So the fact that I think there was like a place of understanding. I had to be like
You
all the
couldn't
turmoil
relate.
in my life. And I think his anger, his emotions, the way he expressed himself, even if I couldn't relate to the topics all the way, I felt a place of understanding of somebody that was wanting to be loved or accepted, or somebody that's been through some stuff. And I was like, this is crazy, because this is why I want to do music. And the fact that it took me time to develop and find my style and find my content. But once I did, then I found my true supporters,
Oh,
right?
without a doubt.
Because they were able to relate to the music and what I'm saying. And so it's like, in a way, I accomplished that. What I thought of when I set out to make music and dreamed of was I want to make music and have people feel the way that I felt, that understanding when I listened to Eminem. And now I write about addiction in my life because I like to be genuine, and I don't want to be rapping about stuff that I haven't done or don't do.
Sure.
So other people, it's helping other people. So like I said, it's really cool. I think that's a key part of my dream, that I'm able to live in, which I think that's, like I said, the icing on the cake.
Oh, and
Oh,
the thing is, though, man, because it's affecting so many people because it's real.
yeah,
They're not just lyrics that sound good. They're lyrics that come from the heart, man, and they're lyrics that mean something from you so personally. And you're throwing yourself out there, man, and which I give you so much credit for, because you're, like we all do when we give our testimonials and all that. So I give everyone that does that so much credit. But
absolutely.
just like I tell people, when you tell your story, I've had people come on and they're already scheduled to come on, and they heard someone else's crazy intense story. They're like, well, man, I don't know if I want to come on, man. My story is nothing compared to theirs. So I'm like, don't ever say that.
Don't ever say
Your
that.
story is just as important as anyone else's story. And
Yep.
I go, you may say something or bring up something that happened to you that could just spark something in someone else where they're going to go, hey, wait a minute, I can
Yep.
relate, just like you with Eminem and that
Yep.
music. Someone else's story, their feelings, their emotions are going to click to someone else's, and that's why we all do it. And it's just and that's just a
I
beautiful thing.
I don't think people understand, like, just because somebody doesn't vocalize it doesn't mean that you aren't an inspiration to somebody.
Mhm.
Exactly.
You know how many people look up to somebody who's climbed out of the fire. So if you think like your story doesn't compare, remember, like we've been
Mm.
saying this whole episode, that everybody's journeys differ. You don't know who you're inspiring. So understand, keep leading by example, keep being great, and
Mhm.
offer only what you can offer, which is yourself,
Mhm.
right? That's no one can offer what you
Yes.
can offer. And that's why you be 100% yourself unapologetically, you know?
Exactly, and that's just it.
Um,
And when you're that authentic and real, you can never go wrong
you can
because
never
you're
go wrong.
talking about no. You. I remember, didn't when we did the show, weren't you rapping about like Ferraris and all
Yep.
this shit? And you were like,
Yep.
I couldn't even drive yet.
I was taking the bus everywhere and I was talking
Like,
about like
yeah,
wild
well,
inappropriate stuff with ladies and like
and,
and guns and being tough and selling drugs and taking the Ferraris and chains
yeah,
and watches, and here I am, just this kid getting stoned before he goes to school, taking the bus to school.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
But the thing
Like,
is, though, so the music itself, though, not to say that the people who write music in different lyrics that don't are talking about personal stuff, okay, it's good. But when you're hitting on the life stories of Skylar Ray
yeah.
and with Kayla and all that stuff, you can't get any more personal and beautiful than that. So it's just, but
Beautiful.
I still like. I'm talking about kicking ass, selling drugs, being with strippers in this Ferrari. I was 13.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Taking the
Begging
bus
for
to
a bong
school.
hit from dad so I can go to school. You know what I'm saying? Like begging for a bong hit. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah,
Because I had no motion, but I had Ferraris in my music.
uh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
But
There's
now,
all
man,
these things, man, and it's really cool that I get a chance to figure out who I am and really step into the person that I'm meant to be, and people accept it.
uh,
It's really cool. It's a blessing. A lot of people don't get that opportunity, and I understand that. I will never take this life for granted. Even if I'm at the max that I'm at right now, like at leveling up, like I've had one hell of a journey, man. I always make music. Best
mm,
believe that. Even if the money stops tomorrow, like music is always gonna be me. And I'm only getting better, right? But like, here's the thing: is I am satisfied. I want more, but I am satisfied, right? The fact that like I made it. You know how many music artists there are? I think I seen something like, OG, can you look it up? How many songs are uploaded to Spotify a day? I think it's millions of songs a day, right? It might be in the tens. It might
How,
be 11 million or something like that, a
yes,
day,
Mary,
right?
uh,
So
how many
hi-
songs are uplisted to Spotify every day?
every day, and that's just one music platform.
yeah, just the one.
More
Just
than
the
60,000 songs are
six. Okay,
uploaded
so my numbers were exaggerated, but sixty
But
thousand
still,
songs a day.
a day.
So you got to think how many artists there are in this world, and like, not to toot my own horn, but it's like I see how far I've come compared to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
artists, even just in my city. Like, you know, I'm very, very, I'm grateful, you guys. I'm grateful. Like, you guys make sure that my bills are paid. You guys make sure I have food on the table. I'm able to take care of pound cake. You guys relieve a lot of stress from my life and allow me to do the things that I absolutely love. So, if you've ever supported, and what I mean by ever supported, I don't mean buying stuff or, buying a ticket or anything like that. If you've ever liked any of my posts, shared anything, ever dropped a comment, like,
Mm-hmm.
that is supporting, guys. Like, it
yes,
helps
it
out more
is.
than you know. So it's like, thank you guys. I do understand the magnitude of how far I've gotten with music. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing. And I look at others and I'm rooting for others, and I understand how well things have worked out for me. And it's really cool to be able to do it with my best friend Kayla. She's the love of my
Mhm.
life. Like, it feels like some Bonnie and Clyde shit. You know
It's
what
a
I'm
cheat.
saying?
It's a cheat
It
code.
does. It does. Excuse my language, but it
Hey,
feels surreal, bro. It does. Like, people literally like pay us and fly us like we've rocked arenas. We're traveling outside the country. People literally get in contact with us, send us money months in advance, fly us out places, book our hotels. We
Wow.
got, like when we landed in Connecticut, like shout out to my guy Coach, black car service everywhere we wanted for like 5 days. Like all these crazy things, like give me a call. Do you need anything from the store? We'll drop it off at your hotel, things like that. It's like, yo, I'm
yeah,
just a junkie with a needle in his arm from underneath the bridge. Like y'all taking care of me like it is insane. Like then that's why I tell people like never give up on your dreams. It don't
no,
matter.
man.
It don't matter if you are not the best person in the room. My theory is I've never been the best in the room. Never, ever, 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 ever have I been the best one in the room at something. Never. But here's the thing. It's not about the size of the dog, right? It's about the heart
Oh,
inside the dog, right? And that's the thing is I've never been the best in the room, but I can guarantee you I will outwork the person right next to me. You don't have to be the best in the room. You just have to be willing to outwork the person next to you.
yes,
That's
yes,
why effort is key. That is key. So understand that. Like, work hard, put in that work. When no one else is working, work again.
yep.
If you
That's
want
just like
something,
what.
that's how it happens. Like, you think these people making the NBA just because off of like they were just gifted with a gift? Yes, that is true. They were gifted with a gift, but don't act like they weren't putting up 1,000 shots before
Mhm, mhm,
practice. You know what I'm saying? Don't act
mhm.
like they haven't been doing that every single day for the rest of their life. Like I seen some crazy things. Steph Curry, one of the best shooters in the world, right? Here's the thing is he put up, I don't remember, I wanted to say, I don't know if this is fact checkable. But I think he put up like 1,000 shots a day plus practices and whatever he put up in games every single day since he was like a young kid, like 11 or 9, all
Yes,
the way.
yeah,
And he still puts up 1,000 shots a day, including practices and workouts. So here's the thing. Yeah, that translates to the best shooter ever in the world. You
exactly. And
tired?
it's
Put in work.
how bad do you want it? And that's just
Ugh,
like, and it doesn't matter if you're talking NBA. It doesn't matter if you're talking as artists singing, and it doesn't matter if you're doing podcasts. It doesn't matter what it is. What are you willing to do? How bad do you want it? And
how
just
bad?
like what Ronnie said to me, when Ronnie Dahl said to me, "How bad do you want this? Prove it.
Yep.
Prove it." And now when I hear that, like this is doing what I'm doing now. It's just like with you and your music. This is how I feel. So now, whenever I get something that's like coming back at me a little bit, any type of negativity, now I just like challenge accepted. Screw that,
Challenge
challenge
accepted,
accepted.
man.
Are you gonna beat me? No, no, you're not. You're gonna knock me down? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get back up. So you better be ready for a fight. And I'm gonna give you all I can. And I'm going
Yeah.
to give you, and so it may not, like you said, there's going to be podcasters out there a hell of a lot better than me.
That's
But
life. That's life,
you got to
yo.
work it out. And just like with you and Kayla,
Yep.
who do you want to go see? The ones who sit there with a name, or someone who's out there busting their ass?
Yeah.
There was a thing with Tom Brady, and with talking about that same thing. He's like, I wasn't born like Tiger Woods. I wasn't this prodigy. I was like a
He was
third
not.
string quarterback, and I was nothing. And now
He
look at
was
him,
not good. He
hard
was
work.
not
No,
good. He got
no,
picked in the 7th round. He almost didn't even make it to the NFL. And then
no.
he became one of the greatest to ever do it. It's always debatable, right? But to
Yes,
even be in the concept or even in the topic of like people could honestly say and have a real argument, they have more of an argument that he is versus he isn't the greatest to
exactly.
ever do it, right? But like he almost didn't even make the NFL. Michael
No,
Jordan got cut from his high school team his freshman year.
Brady. We lost Skylar
Uh-oh,
Ray.
uh-oh, uh-oh.
Skylar Ray.
Oh, no. Need to pay that
He
electric
was
bill.
getting a little bit too tight. I bet you pound cake has got something to do with
I
it.
wouldn't doubt it.
Pound cake. Right. Well, see what happens when you got live TV. As Dan and Donna from Hard Knocks, when that happened to me. Well, we lost Skylar Ray. Unbelievable. That watch my phone should be going off here.
Yeah.
Well,
You were about ready to
we
one.
were about ready. Actually, we were about ready to what? What did you do?
When
What?
you start cooking, boy,
Boy, I
let
tell
him
you what.
cook.
Woo,
Sir.
like challenge accepted. Challenge,
But
come
no,
on, bring
look,
it. Bring it.
it's crazy because it's like, now someone called me, so it shut off all the audio, and I tried to
Oh,
like
Yeah,
reject
no.
it, and then I had to exit out the app and come back.
yeah.
Um, but that's the thing is like, there's all of these people that out there trying to do something, and you got to understand, like, yes, there are gonna always be people better than you, but hard work does pay off. It truly does.
Mhm.
So, Manly Winter, I see you, man. I appreciate you. He's a wonderful producer. Um, y- Manly, you haunt me in my dreams. I'll tell you why. This man haunts me in my dreams, and I tell you why. I think about him often. I think about him often, and the reason why he haunts me in my dreams is because he doesn't literally, and not in my dreams. But I say this because he sent me some beats, and I said I'd work on them, and I think I started a few songs. Don't remember. I get sent a lot of beats. I get sent a lot of beats from producers, right? That want me to like work with them, things like that. But
Mhm.
I know he's a super talented producer, and he sent me some stuff. And then I've even gave him like my phone number, like text me because I lose messages. And it's been years, Manly. So I still got to get on at one of your tracks. I do, but I see your name all the time, and there's just that gut pit, like
Hey,
you slacking mother. You know what
no
I'm
way.
saying?
It's when it's time. When it's the right time,
Ah.
it's gonna happen, brother. When it's the right time, it's gonna happen, and it
But I
will.
wanted to put that out here because I want him to know, like, it's on me. I'm the one dropping the ball. And I don't mean it intentionally, man. I know you put in work. I know you show a lot of love. You do great work. You do great work. It's on my end that I'm dropping the ball, right? It doesn't feel good. I see your name pop up a lot, and it's one of those things I'm like, it's been years and years that I said I was
Yeah,
gonna do something and have it, Manly. So I want to
it
give you
will.
your
It's
flowers, man. I
coming.
want to give you your flowers. I definitely
It's
do.
gonna happen,
It's
man. And
coming.
you know what? At the right
It
time, it's
will.
gonna happen. And pretty, and it shows a lot about your character, man. To come out, you didn't have to say that. You could have breezed right by his name. But so, man, that says a lot to you, brother. And for people such as Skylar to give you that praise, obviously you're a hell of a producer. So, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys hook up. So, but
Thank
and
you.
it is hard, man, because you're used to this type of the busy schedules and people trying to get a hold of you. Where I've never had to deal with anything like this before. Now all of a sudden I'm getting like calls from different studios and different
He's
posts and different come on, and
popular.
it's just like what am I? How does this shit work? And it's just you're trying to please everybody and contact everybody immediately, and you just can't. And then you feel bad. It's like, man, they're gonna think I'm an asshole or something like that. And because I was like, oh, you can. There's always time, but it's like
Yeah.
shit. But
No,
I wouldn't change it for the world, boy.
you know what? I love the chaos.
It is.
I
It's
ain't gonna lie.
madness.
Like, I'm not as, I don't execute as well during the chaos. I get stressed out, and then my stress turns to anger with my anger problem, right? But I have Kayla, and Kayla is a savage. I will tell you, like, when
Don't make
shit
me
is
turn her
on
loose.
fire, you want a Kayla. You need a Kayla. Like, Kayla's like, bro, I'm telling you, like, the moment she's pulled me out of a funk in real time where I'm super stressed out, or she's politely leave me, like, remove me, right? She like
Mhm.
removes me from the situation, and tells me to take a break, come back, and she's handled it. Like, I'm telling you, like, I may be the social one out in the public doing all this and that, but when things are on fire, Kayla saves the day. I don't know. I love chaos. It's always been that way, even with addiction. I think that's why addiction was so gripping,
It's that
right?
adrenaline rush. It is.
Ugh, it
But I tell
is.
you, and you're so right. Just like when I started doing all this on my own, like I said, when I first, I've known OG for years, seeing each other at the gym until a year, almost 2 years now, where that one day where we just started talking about my fight. Just one thing led to another, and started telling her about what I'm doing, and she ran basically the OR as far as the director of nursing and all that. So I mean, her skills for organization and mine, obviously, like you, I'm just like all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, OG handles everything, and I mean flights, reservations, everything,
Yeah.
different shows, and all that stuff that she's doing now. Because I'm just like me and you,
It's
like
so
when
much.
you start talking, here's me and you, like back and forth, back and forth. Kayla is like,
Huh.
okay, doing it, and here's OG like on the phone, like booking this, booking that, and
Yeah.
it's like you kind of forget about it because it's like the uncontrolled chaos, which
When-
is normal for us.
Yes. When things hit the fan, I spin my wheels and I get amped up, right?
Yes, yes.
Kayla doesn't do that. Kayla says, okay, this needs to get done. And she walks through the fire, right? And she finds a solution. Kayla is a handle it, get it done. Me, I spin wheels and get amped up. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I'm like grinding my gears and I'm freaking
Yes.
out and I'm getting ready to blow my little top. You know what I'm saying?
But it's almost like the more chaos, though, the better. It's like, okay, this is bad. We need, we got to tune it down. No, screw that. Let's just cause a little more. You're talking about flowers and all that. Our Detroit girl, Stephanie Rose. Flowers are nice, especially roses. Stephanie Rose. See,
Hey,
she
I
had to
like
go
that.
there.
I didn't even get
She had
that.
to
I
go
didn't even
there.
get that at the time. That's dope. That's
Oh
dope.
man. Ginger, Cheesy popped it out, Ginger Lynn. Oh, and we got pound cake sighting. Ginger, hope everything's going good. Thank you as well, Ginger, for all your support and everyone else, man, from My Fighter War and all of the other amazing families for everything, man. I've said it before. We are part of the elite fraternity, man. We are a family. We all got different names, man. My Fight, Our War. We've got all the other amazing families and different shows and hosts and all that stuff. But we're all family. Look at that face, man. Look at that face.
You want to say hi, mamas?
Oh, pound
Mamas.
cake.
Mamas, what's this? What's this, mama?
Pound cake.
She's got a little sleep in her eyes. She's tired.
Oh man, you know what? I don't want to. I was gonna just say I for some reason just pictured your face and her face as you saw that drop kick when coming down the stairs with poor pound cake. Oh, but you guys, you can see, everyone can see, pound cake is fine.
She is
pound cake
perfectly
is
fine.
Very resilient.
She's so strong.
Well,
how are we doing on time, Manny?
Well,
I know.
I just got wrap it up from the boss here. But Scott, I tell you, man, I look forward to every week knowing that we're going to do a show together. I look forward to every time. I don't hit you up as much. Well, now I'm going to with your tour coming over, or now that it's over, because I know with your schedule and Kayla, you guys are so busy. But I'm just letting you know, man, whenever I see my phone light up with your name, man, it's like puts a smile on my face because I know we're going to have a good time. I know we're going to have a good conversation. And I love you, brother. I really do, man. And
love you too,
you are doing so much for so many. You and Caleb both. Your music, it's not only great listening, but you are touching souls. You're touching hearts. You are changing people's direction in life, man. So thank you guys so much. And I'm just so proud to be able to be part of this ride with you.
Don't forget to put your link.
Thank you so much.
Wait, hold on. We got, wait, go ahead.
Don't forget to put your link so people can find your music. Dan was asking about.
Yeah. I'll definitely
go ahead. Send that over, man.
Great reminder. And I'll definitely handle that, guys. Hey, can I say something though? So check it out. So I found a hole in your story. You said something about you guys met at the gym. You don't go to the gym, Manny. You don't go to the gym.
I go by the gym.
By the gym. So
I go by the gym.
Okay, all right. I'll get out the camera. Okay, I believe it now. I missed that part. I thought you said you went to the gym. My bad. My bad.
When I'm on the way to Atlantis to get my strawberries and pancake or my waffles, all that, I drive by a gym.
Oh boy.
I believe it. He knows. He knows.
He knows.
I appreciate you guys. Manny, thanks for having me out. If you guys are watching this is another weekly episode of Music and Mayhem. Sorry the dates are everywhere. We're going to get on a regular schedule once tour winds down. You guys are beautiful. I love you guys. Let's go,
All
baby.
right.
Let's go.
Love you, man.
Love you.
I'll talk to you soon, brother. I'll hit you up.
I'll talk to you soon.
Love you.
I know.
Well, there we go, man. I tell you, you don't have. There's not enough time to do. I'd have to do another show to just give enough props and credit to him and Kayla
Oh, yeah.
and Pound Cake.
Outstanding.
For
Well,
the
that's why you
stuff they
gotta
do.
do it every week then.
But
That's why
yeah,
you have to
well,
do it.
we got man.
Uh-huh.
I tell you, now that he's done with this tour and winding things down, we're gonna ramp things up and like only Skylar Ray can. So, my brother, I love you, man. Thank you so much. And to everyone else, man, he's still off screen right
Yeah.
now. Doing things I cannot mention. And there's some body parts that you don't want to see.
Oh, no.
But anyways, man, thank you guys so much for your comments. And please just remember that what he said. We're all in this together, and it's one day at a time, one step at a time. And there's absolutely nothing we can't get through. We're all in this together. We're a family. Love you guys. And as always, man, keep fighting the good fight.